Hello everybody. So today Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin again. That's the fifth week in a row. We knew this yesterday, Sunday, when he tweeted the SaylorTracker.com. Kudos to the maker of this website. You can see MicroStrategy now owns 423,000 Bitcoin, and it is indeed the fifth buy of Bitcoin in a row, fifth week in a row. He seems to be buying every Monday. Is he going to keep going? And for how long? For how long is he going to be able to earn that yield, that difference between the dilution and the accretion of Bitcoin, the increase of Bitcoin? He's diluting more slowly when he's adding Bitcoin to the balance sheet. That's the story of MicroStrategy right now. Update on the 2121 plan. Of course, everybody who comments on an MSTR comments on this plan. He announced right now, 5 weeks, almost 6 weeks ago, he announced that he would be issuing 21 billion of new shares, new equity. That's the ATM. That's at the market. That's the at-the-market securities offering. And also fixed income. That's the convertible bond. Everybody, everywhere, comments on the convertible bond. But this is not the story of MicroStrategy today, in my view. They have issued for now 11.8 billion of the ATM, of the new equity. Right? They're more than half done with the issuance of the new equity. Everything they were going to do in 2025, they're done with the equity alone, the new equity. This is the story of a stock issuing new equity, 11.8 billion versus only $3 billion out of the debt. So whenever you see article mention worries about the debt of MicroStrategy, always keep in mind this is the minor portion. This is commenting on 20% of what has been done, and this is not commenting on the bigger story. The bigger story for MSTR, in my view, is the at-the-market new securities offerings, and those just being gobbled up by market participants and the stock not crashing like it usually does. Take any company issuing this much shares. Usually the market hates it. Not in the case of Bitcoin. The market seems to love ATMs when it comes to MicroStrategy doing an ATM to buy Bitcoin, and that is why the issuance of new shares has outpaced the converse. It's 3.94 to 1. So let's round it up. Essentially, for every $1 of convertible bonds, you have $4 of ATMs. So people should comment on the ATM, in my view, because that's the bigger story. That's mostly an ATM story. Yes, Saylor signaled a dual strategy, but the actions are not that of a dual strategy for now. The actions are that of an ATM. And this is, if you follow my channel, my early videos, I talked about the black hole. This is strategy one in the black hole strategy. He's doing the most simple strategy possible. The new money is getting printed out of thin air. New money comes from the money stock, from the issuance of new money supply. Part of that money is going to stick to real estate, to equities, to bonds. And right now he's focused on the new money, the part of that money, that fiat, sticking to the equities. And Saylor is becoming bigger and bigger within the pool of equities. He's taking a larger and larger shares within the index funds, within the universe of stocks that hedge fund money managers, investors, institutional investors, retail investors, he's taking a bigger share of what people want to buy. And so it's like a black hole. It's like gravity. MicroStrategy is growing bigger and bigger and bigger within the pool of existing equities. And as a result of that, it's getting its bigger and bigger share of new buys of the stock. This is kind of like Apple. Apple stays on top. A lot of the reason why Apple stays on top is because it is already so big, and a lot of the perpetual bid, a lot of these automatic buys necessarily go to Apple because it is the biggest fish in the market. MicroStrategy is becoming slowly a bigger and bigger player in that market. That's strategy one. That's the one that is activating right now. right now, he's not issuing a lot of converts right now. The bond market is secondary, and my view is that he's exciting the stock. He's making the stock more volatile, so that the next time that he issues convertible bonds, maybe at this point it will be in 2025, the next time he issues those bonds, they are so in demand that the market knows that these bonds, these convertible bonds from MicroStrategy are rare. They are not common. They are 4 times more rare than the equity, and so people need to pay up for those bonds. He wants to be able to charge up a true premium for Strategy 2 and the issuance of bonds. Yes, people who right now buy MicroStrategy, they subscribe to Strategy 1, which is simply buying the common. A lot of interest in buying the common. Clearly, you don't do 4 ATMs in a row, 5 weekly buys. One was a bond. The other ones were all about the ATMs. You don't do 4 of those in a row without having a lot of demand. This is what people see in MicroStrategy, in my view. No financial advice, but that's what I see, what a lot of people see. You buy MicroStrategy stock right now, you spend $99,000, you get 0.48 Bitcoin equivalent. If you buy it on Coinbase, $99,000 at the end of 24 will be 1 Bitcoin, and it will also be 1 Bitcoin at the end of 2034. Now, if you buy 99,000 of MicroStrategy today, at the end of the year, it will still be, 0.48 BTC. You get 0.48 BTC. But let's assume at the end of 25, he grows it by 15%, then 15%, then 15%, and you own the common for a long time. Right now, you pay a premium. You spend $99,000, you get 0.48 Bitcoin. But 1 year passes, you get 0.55. Another year passes, you get 0.64. Another year passes, you get 0.73. You start breaking even after year 5. And then it's all bonus. And I'm assuming only 15%. You get to earn a yield. You pay a premium to be able to earn a yield on the underlying Bitcoin. And if you assume 15%, well, the 0.55 Bitcoin or 0.48 Bitcoin, if you buy right now, is gonna turn roughly into 2 Bitcoins. And if you buy, say, right now you get 0.48, but he's able to earn 25%. Then 25%, you get to half a Bitcoin turning into 4 Bitcoins. Again, this is not financial advice. This is a projection. Comes with tons of risk. Blah blah blah, but still, it's like still, it's if he's able to earn a yield, if he's able to earn that yield year after year, a lot of people are seeing a lot of value in the commons, and paying up for an NAV is not that big of a problem if he's actually able to deliver on the yield. And what did we see today? He announced yet another increase in the yield today. So the odds are getting better and better that he might be able to deliver on that yield. So who's buying? Whoever is seeing that story of the underlying Bitcoin growing fast is buying. Who's buying? Like I said, index funds, money managers, retail investors, folks covering their short position. As the vol orb trade unfolds, you might have a lot more people having to cover their shorts to adjust their volatility trade so that it remains a gamma trade and does not become too much of a delta type of trade. But that story does not create a fearful narrative. So the market, the newspaper, I was watching the news cycle, and still the articles still mention Strategy 2 and mention the leverage, even though the leverage now is a lesser story. I believe Strategy 2 convertible bonds is the secondary story. It is the story that is yet to be implemented at scale. And at the pace at which Saylor is doing the ATM, he may have to issue another 21 plan just for the ATM, because he seems to be exhausting the ATM. So convertible bond is a secondary stage story, but it may actually be a lesser story throughout the journey of this stock. Saylor, in my view, he's currently oscillating the stock. He's currently working on making the stock more volatile, and the media is helping. The media is helping, promoting. Anytime there's someone who's very fearful on MicroStrategy, they get promoted much more. In fact, I should probably make a video acting all fearful. I'm sure I would get 10x more views if I was acting all fearful about MicroStrategy and not some positive. The media loves the negativity, and so the media is helping Saylor in there. That's why Saylor says, and I say, the shorts are welcome, the critics are welcome. Because the more shorts, the more critics you have, the more MicroStrategy stock pattern will follow Bitcoin. It's upward volatility, but it is volatility nonetheless. It's going to keep being a roller coaster to the upside, and that's what Saylor wants. Saylor doesn't want it to be a smooth ride. Saylor wants it to be a very volatile, oscillated ride to the upside. Saylor wants it to be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down all the time. If we could have up 10%, down 10% every single day, and this shaking of the stock being shaken, that's really good for volatility. And once you have a stock that has been shaken for quite a while, then guess what? You can charge a premium. And Saylor is probably wanting to issue convertible bonds, but he wants to issue those convertible bonds at a big premium. And for that, the underlying stock needs to remain very volatile. Because the more the underlying stock is volatile, the more the convertible bond issued on the stock, that convertible bond coming with an option, like a long-term, 4 years out, call option is what a convertible bond comes with. People buy those bonds for that option that's 4 years out. That premium on that option issued with a convertible bond is collected by MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy wants to collect a bigger premium on the converts, and to collect a bigger premiums on the converts, you need to write converts on a very volatile underlying stock. And that premium today is collected in the form of zero coupon, 0% interest, in the form of borrowing the money for 4 years, for 5 years at a 0% interest. My guess is that if the stock keeps oscillating up and down, if the stock keeps being volatile, my guess is that you might be able to issue those coupons at negative interest rates going forward, i.e. collecting an even greater premium for someone to have the privilege to own that long-term call option on MicroStrategy, on which they can do a gamma trade, they can do a volatility trade, which is why a lot of hedge funds are interested in. So the secondary strategy, as I said in my video 2 days ago, is you want to sell a high-octane bond, a high-octane fuel, a very highly volatile fuel. You don't want to sell regular fuel, because regular fuel you're not able to charge a premium as big as high-octane fuel. When Saylor writes a convert bond on its shares, it wants to be able to write the most explosive convertible bond, not a boring convertible bond that would not be an oversubscribed, because there is not a lot of volatility. But I cannot emphasize this enough. This is strategy 2. Today we witness strategy 1, which is the Blackhole strategy, which is the simple strategy, which is just equities liking the new issuance, the market liking the new shares, and buying up the new shares. That's the Blackhole strategy. That's the strategy that I'm very happy to see. Anyways, this was not financial advice, not investment advice ever on this channel. This is just entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe. Follow me on X, follow me on Patreon, comment. You know what to do. Thanks for watching and have a wonderful day.